A global news investigation are finding kids running away in alarming numbers.
Go.
3, 2, 1. Imagine you're 7 years old at 5 a.m. and you're naked and you're at Deportans. Staff in the group home didn't know you were missing for 8 hours. Another group home, this 5-year-old boy has to get watched at all time. He was found in the creek, his face is in the water, drowning. Imagine he's littler than me, and no one's watching him. After his lungs are cleared at the hospital, they sent them back to the same home where they're not safe. 2 months later, he was missing 5 kilometers away. More than 10 cases in Toronto. Transferred in 10 times to dangerous homes in a year. After 10,000 serious occurrences, these kids had mental health issues. Kids try to escape these homes because they get tied up in strings. In one group home in 4 years, children went missing 1,200 times. The highest per bed in any group home in Ontario.
Go.
That's the sound of an 11-year-old being violently restrained in the next room. Children are assigned to live in this hostile environment. It consists of harsh physical restraints, few or no activities, and awful food. A worker said in one shift, all they saw in the fridge was a couple chicken nuggets and carrots.
They restrained her everywhere. On the floor, on the bed, against the wall. It's scary. It's really, really scary. Which is why when a worker offered to be a mother to me and take me home, I saw a way out. Forced me to sell drugs. She told me to get out of the car and go sell it. I was freaking out. I'm like, okay, what do I do? Group homes are magnets for exploiters. There was no money for any outings. The group home got their food from churches. There were bed bugs and infestations of rats.
What you kids needed was compassion and help healing. Did you get help?
No, I got medicated.
Kids say they were over-medicated.
Yeah, very much over-medicated. Everybody, every single kid. I felt like a zombie at one point. I was sleeping all the time. I was moody. I was sad. I even got heavily suicidal at one point, where at one point I tried to hang myself in the closet.
And you think that was because of the medicine?
100%.
Incredible. The worker that was supposed to protect her was making her sell drugs. Meanwhile, she was left alone in the apartment for 2 weeks, as strange men came to check on her, and she worried she was at risk for being trafficked. Although some kids objected to medication, some felt they had no choice.
You don't force them to take them, but you make it very hard for them to refuse. You're not going to be allowed Lego. We will take away electronics tomorrow. We'll go to do something. Well, you're not going to go. Medication is a good social control mechanism, and it works. It keeps them almost comatose. All the homes that I've been to, I haven't seen an instance of an actual traditional counseling. These homes were in horrible shape, electricity not working. The ceiling broke in one home. It was repeatedly documented for water damage in daily logs. The repair was often left for weeks and even months. What message does this send to the kids when it's not worth fixing their own home?
Group homes and residential treatment centers are magnets for exploiters. There was not money for outings. One home relied on food donations from a church. Workers documented bed bugs and infestation in the basement. They had rats and severe disrepair. Some staff would say they are a paycheck. I've heard multiple staff say that to kids straight to their face. Nobody cares about them. That's exactly what the youth will say. A lot of people don't know what happens. They need to see what's going on.
You know what I wrote today? Do you guys want to know what I wrote today? Here's what I wrote today. Children's Aid Society breached my constitutional rights, guaranteed to me under Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, by placing me into dangerous treatment facilities. They failed to ensure that I would be afforded equal protection under the law and direct violation of Section 15 of the Charter. Further, by placing me in traumatic institutions where I was subjected to sexual assault, neglect, psychological abuse, and other torturous misconduct. The Children's Aid Society of Toronto violated my right to life, liberty, and security of the person in direct violation of Section 7 of the Charter.
If you take one fucking look on the internet, you will find dozens and dozens and dozens of news articles exposing the child welfare services for the piece of shit that it really is. Take kids away from their families, throw them in foster homes. They are sexually assaulted, trafficked, and there is no hope. There is no love, just empty, soulless walls that a child cannot survive from and becomes a fucked up adult. That a child cannot survive from and becomes a fucked up adult.
What made me change was the youth workers. They pushed me to go to school, and they were there for me when my family wasn't. They gave me reminders that I could be doing better, and that really stuck with me. When I felt excluded, they were there for me when my family wasn't, and that speaks volumes to me. I saw the effort that they were putting in for me, and it was one of the reasons that I wanted to do that. They really pushed it back on me. So yeah, I think they really put a lot of time and effort into me, and I really appreciate that. Like, they would invite me to holidays when my family wasn't always around for me to feel included.
What does the government need to know about these group homes?
They need to learn how to shut them down.
Do you think restraint should be used on children?
No, because they hurt them.
What can make life better for children in group care?
They need love, patience, and therapy.